So thank you, audience, viewers, for attending this live virtual webinar. My name is Al Dimay, and with the help of many you will hear pretty soon who are will be speaking in their comments, we have come up with, we believe, two interesting offerings that will help B2B, business to business suppliers, as well as the smallest suppliers in the supply chain. Smallest as in one-person coffee shop, nail salon, DJ, etc. Those two corresponding platforms are Diverse Marketplace, which you see here, and respectively Diverse Yellow Pages. So I'm going to start with a very quick video that we have put together, just to give you a very high-level brief that we presented at the NMSDC Economic Forum. Then I'm going to walk you through the actual slide and go into a little more detail. So I'm going to start the video.
All right. Hey, Al, how are you?
Okay. So that was, I think, less than 30 seconds, but that's fine. With that, what I'm going to do is actually switch to my presentation. But let me first acknowledge the people who are on this platform with me, starting with, and I'll go alphabetically. Darian Pinkman, Fernando Fernandez from Coke, Darian Pin from Tishman Spire, Fernando Martinez, he couldn't join, but we have Peter Hurst from Greater New England, Valerie Cofield from EMSDC, Terence Clark from New York, New Jersey. And I hope didn't miss anybody. But these are the people, and sorry, Paul Williams from the University of California Systems. So as you can imagine, the council presidents will be giving their input as to why they like this platform as such from their perspective, and corporate executives will give their view, if I may. And Paul Williams has to log off early, so I'm going to be Paul. If you would like to say a few things, or should I start the presentation? You tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just give 2 seconds on, I'm glad to see, I've continued to be glad to see this come to fruition. This is based, early on, Al and I had a conversation around a gap.
On mute.
Am I on mute? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Paul. Me, Al.
Okay.
And I see talking Paul. So, Keisha, can people hear Paul?
Yeah, Paul, I can hear you.
Okay,
I
good.
can hear you, Paul.
Okay, great.
Thanks,
great.
Peter.
We can hear you.
So again, I've been very pleased to see the progress that Al has made on the platform from a conversation that he and I were having very early on about a gap in the marketplace in terms of supplier diversity. One of the big challenges that we continue to find was be able to quickly identify suppliers and do so with some level of like qualitative assessment of, are these suppliers able to meet our needs? And so he took that idea and has run with it, and I'm very pleased to see that moving forward.
No, and like I said, people who are going to give their comments are the people who are making us really add features and drive the platform to the next level. The goal is to really help, MBEs, certified MBEs, as a part of a diverse marketplace, but other suppliers that may not be certifiable as far as NMSDC is concerned, that is Yellow Pages. So with that, I'll just, and any of you other speakers have a time constraint, please let me know. I'll give you some time to give your comments. So thanks, Paul. So our goal is to address the economic challenges because of especially what happened to George Floyd murder. And like Paul said, uh, some of the major issues that we found in the whether it's just small or diverse businesses is there's a lack of visibility in many cases, ease of accessing your product or services portfolio, and in some cases brand recognition. Okay, uh, there was no actually platform till we built this for just diverse suppliers for B2B as well as B2C. Okay. In some cases, it's very difficult to get to the details of the classification on some sources. We and pandemic has, or you all know, has impacted small and diverse businesses substantially. And we hope through this platform, hope to make a small impact to help them grow, whether they're smallest in the economic chain, one person coffee shop, or a B2B. That's the goal here ultimately. These are numbers I'm sure you know. These stats from the World Economic Forum. So given that we have seen challenges and challenge honestly given by people like Paul Williams from day one, we built this platform to bring specific initiative to empower the diverse small and local businesses. Okay, so like I said, we have two separate offerings: Yellow Pages for B2C and Marketplace for B2B. On this platform, only certified suppliers will be viewable for literally Amazon-like experience. You can go to our platform right now. Not every supplier is there, and you can actually conduct commerce. Select products based on whatever category, buy products. You get an email, it will be shipped. You can do exactly like Amazon. That's what we have built, and we'll continue to add features as we get inputs from either MBEs, corporates, or the regional councils that are representing today. Any of you, okay, since this came on board, I have my colleague, my friend, Fernando Hernandez, who jumped on to say, I'm going to sponsor these platforms. So Fernando, I'll mute myself. Would you like to say, why did you think you actually decided to sponsor this platform?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Fernando Hernandez. I have the pleasure of leading Coca-Cola's supplier diversity program globally, and it's a pleasure to be with you here today. I've been attending the NMSDC Economic Forum here in Chicago, and it's all about the future. And as Al is trying to articulate, the platforms that he's talking about today is all about digital transformation. It's about the economic future. It's about empowering small, mid-sized, and large businesses to compete. So the way that we see it at Coca-Cola and the why we support a diverse marketplace and diverse Yellow Pages, it aligns to our overall goal to empower and grow our supplier diversity and, quite honestly, our network of diverse endpoints throughout the country and the world. What I like about this offering is it provides a digital on-ramp for the smallest of businesses to be able to participate in diverse Yellow Pages, and then they can slowly grow and graduate to the diverse marketplace. I like it because it provides little friction in the overall experience. It's simple, it's inexpensive, and I think that this is part of the solution set for really empowering and growing our diverse set of MBEs going forward into the future. So I'm proud to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to the success of this overall initiative and partnering with both diverse Yellow Pages, diverse Marketplace, and NMSDC on this path and growth. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Fernando. And like I said, okay, this is where I can have Terence, resident of New York, New Jersey, if he wants to say why did he, it's supporting the platform, followed by Valerie, followed by Peter. Terence, I don't know if you can hear me or
I
if you're
can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Terence. Go ahead.
Terrific. And good afternoon, everyone. I too am at the forum in Chicago, so hopefully everybody can hear me. And I'm trying to mute the background noise. But for us, it's very simple. We continue to look for ways to connect our clients with opportunities in the marketplace. And this is a platform and opportunity for those clients, small, medium, and large, to be able to make those very important connections to help the growth and development of their businesses. And anything that our particular council can do toward that, we are certainly willing to participate in and open up opportunities for our clients. It's extraordinarily important because, somebody this morning mentioned it's not just access to capital, it's access to customers. And this gives people that chance and that opportunity to have access to customers. And we think that that's very important. So it has our full support, and we hope that it will be something that will be beneficial to all in the NMSDC network and outside the network as we go forward. Thank you.
Sure. And so I don't know if Valerie was able to join. Valerie's an EMSDC. Valerie, if you're there. Okay, I don't know if she's there. Let me go to Peter Hurst, Greater New England. Peter, if I know you're there.
Thank you, Al. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Peter. Yes.
So I am very supportive of both the diverse marketplace and the diverse yellow pages. And ever since Al first mentioned the concept to me, I actually took it a bit further than he did. We're all focused on minority business development, but there's a wide gap between our aspiration and what we're actually doing now. To bring it closer to home, in New England, 42% of my MBEs have less than $1 million in revenue, but they represent only 1% of the aggregate revenues generated by New England MBEs. And I've always believed, because I'm a former MBE, that one way to bridge the gap between what we promise and what we aspire to for smaller minority-owned businesses and what they can actually achieve is MBE to MBE commerce. And I think these two platforms represent an incredible opportunity to provide more MBE to MBE commerce. Until we get MBE's full access to the NMSDC database, this is a way for MBEs to find each other and buy goods and services from each other. And the final thing that is probably most critical to me is the fact that Al's an MBE. So even if there were 10 other players in this space trying to do the very same thing, if Al's the only MBE, that's where I'm throwing my support. So Al, I'm supportive. I think we can use this to not only help MBEs grow and prosper, but we can use this to help recruit MBEs to the network.
That's great. He really took the original concept, like Peter said, beyond corporate to MBE. He has stats, he has a vision and strategy to connect MBEs to MBEs. And our platform is going to be completely transparent, and we will not favor one MBE versus another. It will all depend on how good your product, services, pricing, all of that is. We currently don't plan to have like commercials, add extra payment for whichever way to put your MBE listing first, unless market demands it. We're not going to, we hope not to create revenues through that. It will be a fair game platform that is fair to everybody in the chain. I think, Peter, if I may say, he also kind of went beyond MBE to MBE. He thinks that he could recruit new corporate members. And again, that was his idea, by offering them access online. Peter, you want to tell audience what was your view?
So I think you can recruit not only new corporate members, but new MBEs, because, you know, even though the marketplace is focused on certified MBEs, I've always, you know, told Al that I thought you should give non-certified MBEs access to it, let them see the power and value of it, and then you know, say, look, either you become certified, or we're going to kick you off the platform, or we're going to charge you a prohibitively high price. But the key thing is you get them addicted to the value and the power of the platform. And I think you can do that with both corporations and MBEs.
Yeah, thank you. And again, our commitment to the council precedent is we'll basically go with what either may have something just for that region if nobody else wants it, or these features like what just Peter said across the entire network. But we'll go, we're not going to just allow anybody to come on the network unless somebody tells us to do so, which in this case is the council president.
So Al, if I could make just one final point.
Sure. Peter.
If you look at the network of certified MBEs that we have, it's 12 to 13,000. If you look at the number of MBEs in this country with paid employees, there are almost 1 million of them. So there's a wide delta between what we've already certified and what the potential marketplace looks like. So I think these two platforms are two tools that we could use to narrow that gap between the number of MBEs we've certified and the number of MBEs out there in the United States.
Perfect. And like I said, platform will be completely neutral to everybody's on the platform, both of them. Again, very important for us, and the current two presidents have accepted our formal interview, serve on the board, and Paul Williams. There are more to come. I'm talking to other people who were in the who gave comments in this platform, by the way. And like Peter said, we are the first and only diverse company right now. First will be forever, because there are other players who are coming in the mix. You might have heard about them, and I won't mention their names. They are all great companies, great products, but we think we have an edge because, again, first and only MBE. And we really believe that you will see in our action. I'll tell you what I meant by that in a second. We are very intentional in spend, very bold in spend. And while I'm on that particular point, I can tell you people who are on, I know Valerie Cofield is not, it looks like not able to join, but I have Darian Pinkman. I think he is joined. Darian, are you there?
I am Al. Good afternoon,
Okay.
everyone.
So Darian, Terence, Valerie, and myself, we had a breakfast in Jersey City, where we are generally in that area. We literally found, and Darian, maybe why don't you tell our experience?
Sure, Al. So for me, good afternoon, everyone. Darian Pinkman. I'm the global head of indirect procurement for Tishman Speyer, as well as the founder of their supplier diversity initiative. So a great story, and why this is important and impactful for all of us. Maybe about a year and a half ago into the pandemic, myself, Valerie, Alan, Terrence wanted to find a place to intentionally spend with a minority-owned business. So we looked through the Chamber of Commerce, we looked through Google searches, etc. We could not find a place in Jersey City, which is meant to be the most diverse city in the country, to have breakfast at a Black or Brown-owned breakfast shop. So that was kind of the business case for me to say, wow, if I intentionally want to spend my money in places where the economy is going to grow the most over the next 5 to 10 years, it's really, really, really hard to identify those businesses for multiple reasons. Some of them may be certified by the NMSDC, but like we said, many of them are not, right? And I think this platform is an amazing opportunity to bring those folks in, show them the value of the cohort we can put together that'll generate millions and maybe even billions of dollars in spend. And then once they see the benefit, I think it's going to be pretty easy to keep them on the platform as well as get certified with their regional councils. So that's just one of the use cases, and there's many others. And I think maybe a little bit further in the presentation, I'll go into kind of the second use case we were thinking of.
You can go with that now if you want.
Sure. So at Tishman Speyer, we're an owner, developer of Class A commercial real estate across the globe. One of our services is called Zoe, and it's a tenant amenity services for our customers such as Meta, NBC Universal, Deloitte, et cetera, all the names that you would know across the globe. One of the things that platform looks to do is provide services to our tenants, obviously. So whether they're looking for a florist or an electrician, or maybe they want to find someone that can do catering. Right now, that's very difficult, even in metros like New York City. If you want to find a local F&B provider that can provide food and wine, and they're a Black-owned or a Brown-owned business, that's very difficult to find. My hopes are that 6 months from now, 2 quarters from now, we're looking at this as a platform where my customers and our customers generally can use this platform to find purveyors of those services, which are very difficult to find.
But if I may, Darian went one step beyond. We actually kind of interviewed the owner of that breakfast place, and he had specific reason, right or wrong, by not explicitly seeing as a Black-owned business. But Darian said, hey, look, you're not too far from my offices. He would, next time there's a catering event, he will go to him. Because again, intentional spend with that, and I'm sure he'll find many more in the region. And that's how we hope that impact will be created in the smallest suppliers in the supply chain using diverse yellow pages. I spoke to earlier today, actually a regional president, and we will soon integrate our platform with what that particular entity has. So, which is very powerful. When I heard that, I was very excited. Let's say we go to this breakfast place that Darian just mentioned, and again, Terry Clark was there as well, and Valerie. If we spend X dollars, the platform that we'll integrate with very soon will actually show real-time impact of dollars spent to maybe taxes generated, to maybe economic, whatever growth, various aspects of real-time dollars spent. So the way I see it is, if I go and spend whatever, $10, $20 for breakfast, I can show to my colleague. I say, look what, this is what happened because I intentionally spent money in here. He or she might do the same thing. It has to be kind of a movement through that chain of events like that, we believe. And people who are on the advisory board and otherwise believe. We hope to continue beyond just one spend. And we want to do well by doing good. This is our really contribution to society as a whole. So I think, again, as a part of diverse yellow pages, what we would like to do, be a hub for the small, everything that they may need. For example, if someone doesn't have a website, we'll point that person to another small supplier who will create website, marketing, digital marketing, any legal help, any search engine optimization. Again, we are going to be just the connector. We'll connect them to corporates where you want to, maybe expose your products and services. They need loan. We'll go to, we have now some African Black-owned banks. We'll connect to the bank for loan or whatever, etc. Yeah, again, these are the issues that we see, and this is our honestly commitment to the society as we build these platforms. Oh, this one, sorry. So as a part of that, of course, we have some financial model we generate, we collect money. In this case, supplier or sponsors, very small amount. We will, if somebody else advises us to spend that money into the local, some charity or local STEM programs, local helping smallest, again, new budding entrepreneurs, that's our extra commitment to give it. Again, we want to keep as much local for the most local impact. That's going to be from our side. I mean, I'm sure you know all this. Dollar spent in a small business results in a whole bunch of things, right? Business expansion, new jobs, goes back to the local economy, purchasing power. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here. And that is why we believe it will have huge impact on, again, the smallest suppliers in the supply chain. Again, this kind of applies for B2B as well as B2C. More for B2C, but also applies to B2B as well.
Yeah, if I can just hop in, I do want to
Yes.
just reiterate that I do think that's a distinguishing factor of the program, is that what Al has designed is designed with the idea of community impact and impact for diverse businesses as the primary driver. And I think he, as a diverse business, is uniquely qualified to be able to do that. And again, I think to me that's a very distinguishing factor versus some of the other programs that have come up that, to be honest, I would view as opportunistic.
Thank you, Paul. And any of the people who commented, like Darian, Fernando, Peter, Terrence, join in, just speak up. You don't need to raise your hand. So again, Yellow Pages is for small and diverse businesses. But Deb entered. Okay. So we have currently 1.75 million records of small and maybe self-certified diverse businesses. Not all of them are on platform yet. We're going very systematically in terms of bringing them our platform. I'm looking at my clock. For example, the Chicago event, if you go to our website or download an app, you will see closest to the venue or the hotel, you will see suppliers, restaurants, coffee shops, bars, and bunch of things you can walk or take an Uber to, for example, right? We're going to have similar access of data for next many conferences to come. VBank is in June. I think in Atlanta, we almost have all the data. There is an NGLCC, and we'll make sure the classical problem that people have, okay, I want to spend diverse, where do I go? We hope to provide that data as people travel for business or pleasure. The goal is there, again, to do intentional spend during a travel. You come back to your hometown and go to a smallest supplier in your own city exclusively to, again, help impact and create more jobs, tax dollars, etc., etc. Conference ready. Okay, I just talked about that, right? Corporate travel programs. I think we are talking to many companies at this point. They would like to kind of make this as a more of a advisable spend when they travel. Again, to impact the local economy, not a mandate. I think mandate would be a wrong word from a large company to say, hey, my employees travel who only spend only these suppliers. A lot of companies looking at, and we will have some kind of a friendly, competition, if I may say, to see who spends the most dollar on a particular whatever month or something. We will, as a entity, will have gift cards, just to incentivize. But again, those will be given to the smallest suppliers in the same city, not typical gift cards that you get these days, Amazon or Starbucks or whatever. We'll go again to the smallest suppliers. If they don't have a gift card, hopefully they'll start new. Again, you can go and spend more in those smallest suppliers in that region that you want to impact, basically. So we want to really make sure, just more than, okay, this restaurant exists, I can go and eat there. Like I said, connection to advisors, mentors, connection to bank, connection, search engine optimization, and all of the above, if there is a need. Diverse marketplace, I think I kind of mentioned to you, is only for certified and verified diverse suppliers. Again, authorized by council in this case has agreed to jump on at this point. We will allow corporates to get tier 1 spend, even though we are an MBE, we might have an LGBT or whatever behind us. We will expose that spend so that a corporate can count that as a tier 1 spend. Just FYI. Like Peter said, there's a huge potential for MBE to MBE spend. Again, just by frictionless platform, ease of use of products or services. We have continuously looking at different AI-based algorithms to see, how this could be. The platform could give a lot of intelligence, a lot of, reports from all perspectives, from council to the suppliers as well as the corporations. We'll continue to enhance that feature. Oh, we are talking to some international certifying agencies. They have expressed interest. They are not in this platform yet, but we think we'll have many of them on board in near future. So stay tuned for the corporates if any of you are on this on this webinar here. And how can you? Okay, whether you're a large corporation is okay. You can be a sponsor like Coke is. We will not have 100 sponsors, too many logos, dilutes the impact of the sponsorship. We hope to have just about 10 or 12 logos that kind of becomes semi-exclusive to those initial logos if you want to be a part of the sponsorship. You can, as a corporation, you can run a pilot for a delta you may have committed, your CEO might have committed, go from X to 2X, run a pilot on our diverse marketplace platform. That's how you can play a part. As a part of diverse yellow pages, I truly believe this, make it part of your daily habits. That's the only way you can be super intentional. Rather than going to a brand name, whatever, staying in a brand name hotel or restaurant or a coffee shop or wherever, you can go to the smallest supplier in your supply chain. Daily habits along with it. Plus, make it a part of your corporate program, travel program, like some of the companies are already looking at this as we speak. If you'd like to really be even involved in a deeper way, send me a note. We'll run it by the current board of advisors. You can be just a mentor, give us input without being a formal board of advisors. We always love constructive criticism that will help this grow both missions. So if you don't like it, tell me you don't like it, but tell me why. What can we change? Refer to your corporate friends. Refer to anybody you think has, again, the intention of spending B2B or B2C. And I think, spread the word. Yeah, follow on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, etc., etc. Again, that will let more people would know about this platform. And I'm looking at my clock. It's 1:04. Any of my folks would like to say any final words, and I'll just go. And what I was told by somebody is run the 30-second video one more time, because some people didn't see it or they joined late. So before, I don't know, Keisha, the Q&A, is that going to be, should I just look at the chat and answer questions? How is that going to work? Keisha, you might be on mute. Okay, let me see. Peter Russell. Okay. I'm going to just questions if I can.
Yeah, Al, this is Darian. I think anyone that has a question can place it in the chat, and we can facilitate Q&A from there, or just raise your hand.
Yeah, thank you, Darian. And I know I see that video was not visible early in the thing. So I'm going to start the video. And in the meantime, if
So we can see your slide, but not the video yet.
Oh,
So
I
you
didn't
might
know
have
that.
you might have to share a different screen.
Thank you. Oh boy, thank you for letting me know. Hang on. Oh, 30 seconds. Okay, share. Okay, I will start from the beginning. Okay.
And then one last thing, you might need to turn up your volume because we can't hear the narrative.
Oh, it's just music. There is no.
Okay, great.
This is what we believe in: support diverse, support smart, spend local. And this 30-second video is basically a capsule version of what I presented. This was, I think, run during this economic forum in Chicago today, and will be running for, I guess, for rest of the day. Just FYI, but this is what we believe. Hope you all believe, and let's make real impact using this platform or this platform, if I may say. Okay, so with that, we have kind of at least 20 more minutes. I don't know if Paul, I know he had to leave, but if any of you want to make any additional comments, just go ahead.
Yeah, so Al, this is Darian. So let me ask a question that a corporate might have. What type of reporting will you be able to get out of the platform, right? Because as a corporate member, reporting tier 1, even tier 2 can be very important. So what type of reporting, how frequent, and what might that look like for a corporate to be able to represent their spend base?
Great question. So, I mean, you're a technology person, knows enough. So, we have all kinds of data. Let's talk about marketplace and yellow pages, right? So marketplace, we have data of every transaction that was done on the platform, right? So whether it's your Tishman Spire data for this month versus last month, this commodity, that commodity, we can give you, you have access as a corporate person to look at the data whenever you want, or we can send you a report every so often. We can give you, of course, only your data, Tishman Spire. But because we have data from other corporations, we can say, hey, Tishman, you spend only whatever, $100,000 on construction. But guess what? Somehow in your region, company Y as a corporate was able to spend $2 million. Would you like, maybe you miss those suppliers. And if we get okay from all the parties, we'll tell you those suppliers if you have missed them, right? So again, the data is there. There are some standard reports that we have. You can come in and look at the data, or we can push reports every so often. That's on the diverse marketplace. For the councils, they have complete visibility because they are the one who bring in the corporations, so that's suppliers, complete visibility of the entire transaction that take place in their four walls, all the suppliers and all the corporations. So that is marketplace. On the yellow pages, again, people are giving us input, data on, all kinds of how many suppliers in my region, with coffee shop and certified or not certified of this particular, LGBT or small business or et cetera, et cetera. We can give you that report, again, push, or you can come and take a look. That's not there right now, but somebody asked us, Darian, so we're going to take inputs like that to make sure you have what you need from either of the platforms. Did I answer your question, Darian, or?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so having all that transparency and visibility is going to be really important for anyone, of the corporates at least, that come onto the platform.
Yeah.
Hey, Al, two things I want to highlight that I
Yes,
think
Paul.
didn't get called out earlier. If when I think about it as a chief procurement officer, there's two things that come to mind. One is the cost, and where does it fit in the landscape of all of the other tools that I have, and then the other is the cost from the standpoint of the efficiency of my team, being able to actually use it. And so, I'll take the second one first and say, like, I think that the diverse marketplace is a huge efficiency enabler in terms of, we've set goals and objectives for our teams to identify diverse suppliers to work with, but they typically are having to have kind of multiple conversations or go into multiple databases to be able to do that. And this allows them to go kind of into one place, which I think is a huge enabler. The other piece, and Al, maybe you can elaborate on this one more, is the integration with existing tools, because for me, that was a big deciding factor, as well as the ability to integrate with the things that are currently in our landscape.
So thank you for that, Paul. Again, we as a company, core company, LSI Next Gen, we're a classical integrator. So we integrate systems from very complex to very simple. We like very complex, like what Paul just mentioned, whether as a procurement system, if you have SAP or any other internal systems or Coupa, any off the shelf or Oracle, we currently have direct integration from our platform to those platforms, okay, today. We may need to fine tune based on your processing, but the core functionality of connection is there. So a procurement person sitting behind Coupa screen, Ariba screen, or Jagger screen can now, through whatever strategy they may have, look into our network of suppliers and actually conduct transactions. So that's the piece we have currently already integrated. But like I said, there might be some fine tuning required on that side. Diverse yellow pages, we have the same connectivity, but I believe you may not need that as a corporate person, because it's more, okay. So let me go back. If you plan to have this yellow as part of your travel program, we can integrate with your, American Express travel agency, whatever, if you want. Okay, we have that capability already in there. But if you're just coming into a city and want to look at the things, you can download an app or on a laptop and just look at restaurants, coffee shops. And we really, a lot of people have given a lot of input. I'll tell you frankly, we came across things like worshiping, people want to go worship in a diverse place. There are museums, there are comedy clubs, things like that. So if you're visiting a place like Chicago or Atlanta or wherever, you may want to go to a comedy club as a group and support that diverse supplier with a comedy club, or nails, besides standard nail salon, etc., etc. So we are trying to get as many suppliers that one may need during travel. Let me tell you, it's a very difficult task. Like Darian said, and Terence was there, we tried to search through standard search, Google, Bing, Yelp, etc. We couldn't find that diverse supplier in Jersey City. So our platform is really, hopefully will be end all. I know that's too strong a word, but we hope to include as many suppliers in as many cities as fast as possible. There are various strategies we are using. We started with the most cities that need most economic impact. So a list of those cities, and we started getting the data, which was very hard, but we have some of the data. Then people suggested, okay, let's target on conference that might be easier to deploy. So we have next 4 conferences already in our radar screen. So data will be there as a part of diverse yellow pages, continuous improvement in the data piece. And that's where I leave it, Paul, unless you have specific questions. I think he had to leave, so he may have dropped off, but that's fine. Anything else? Then Peter, Terence, Fernandez, Any last comments before we close off? Or should I look at the chat? So if there are any questions that are, I need to, okay, Paul said that. 12:34. Okay. I don't think there are any questions that I need to address from the list that I see here. Okay. Thank you for that, Elisa, Michelle. Recording will be shared. Okay, you, I think, got that. Okay, I think there are no questions that need immediate attention. So with my folks who are helping me in the presentation, Fernando Hernandez, Darian, Peter, Terence, and Paul, who might have logged off, and Keisha, unless people want me to stay longer, should I consider this? Keisha, you can call the shots. I'm here. If you want to stay longer and ask questions, please put in a chat box. I'm here till allocated time, till which is 1:30 p.m. Central. Okay, I guess no more questions. So I thank you, audience, and my colleagues who really gave a lot of input during this webinar and have given in the past and will continue to make this platform really meaningful for the suppliers that are in the supply chain. Thank you so much, folks.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Peter.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fernando.